Talk about percent, greater than 100% and less than 1%. So, in a class of 25 students, 9 students believe that I will one day quit my teaching job at KDISD and stay and live with Tyra Banks. What percent actually believe this? Wow, I'm surprised kids even believe this. So 9 out of 25 students. What does the definition of percent mean? It out of 100 or per 100? So how do I build up from 25 to 100? By 4. So I got 36 hundredths, or 36 per 100, or 36%. So 36% actually believe this. So what percent and decimal? Oh, what decimal? So the decimal of 36 hundredths is 36 hundredths. What percent and decimal do not believe this? So if there are 25 students, 9, so that means, is it 16? 16 plus 9 is 25. 16 out of 25 do not believe this. It's a total ball-faced lie. So we scale up by 4. That would be 64 hundredths, 64 hundredths, or 64%. You're a Kitty Mills ball. You are looking for a Thanksgiving outfit because most people do dress up that day. The sign above the sales rack says take 20% off. What fraction and decimal equivalence is that? Well, 20% means 20 per 100. And what is the decimal equivalent? 20 hundredths. These are all the same. You could simplify this by breaking it by 20. So it's 1/5, 20%, 20 hundredths, 20 hundredths. What if the sign reads 2% off? That'd be 2 per 100, or 2 hundredths, or you break this down by 2 and you get 1/50. What if the sign now? This is what we're learning. What if the sign says take 0.2% off? So it's 0.2%, 0.2 hundredths. So let's look at this one. When you have a fraction, you can't really have a decimal inside a fraction. What is another way? How can you read this as a division problem? It's 2/10 divided by 100. So what is 2/10 divided by 100? So can 100 go into 2/10? 0 times. Then add our 0. Can 100 go in 20? 0 times. Add our 0. Can 100 go in 200? 2 times. So the decimal equivalence is 2 thousandths. What fraction is that? 2 thousandths. So 2/10 divided by 100 is the same as saying 2 thousandths, which simplified to 1/500. All 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of these are equivalent to each other. So a percent less than 1% equals a number less than 1/100ths. A percent greater than 100% will be greater than 1 whole. So to convert, so if they give you a percent and ask you to turn it into a decimal, you write it per 100. Like 125% is 125 per 100, or 6/10 per 100. Now, you can divide this out. 125 divided by 100 is 1 25 hundredths. And 6/10 divided by 100 is 6 thousandths. So to turn a percent to a decimal, we're dividing by 100. So let's practice this. So helium accounts for 1/100th% of Earth as atmospheric gases. Wonder what methane is. Express this percent as a decimal and as a mixed number or fraction in simplest form, then interpret its meaning. So how would you write this as a fraction? Well, no, it's per 100. So how can we say this? This is 100 divided by 100. So let's divide this. 100 divided by 100. Can 100 go into decimal? 0, 0 times. Bring down a 1. Can 100 go in 1? 0 times. Add another 0. Can 100... Wait. This should be 100. Can 100 go into 10? 0 times. Add another 0. Can 100 go 100? 1 time. So the decimal is that. That is in the 10,000ths. Tenths, 100,000, 10,000ths place. So 1/10,000th is the same as saying 1/10,000ths, which is the same as saying 100% and same. Next one. Express the percent it increased the second year as a decimal and as a fraction. 115%, 115 per 100. So what's the number? How to express this as a thing? Decimal. Let's divide it out. 115 divided by 100. Can 100 go in 1? 0 times. Can 100 go in 11? 0 times. Can 100 go in 150? 1 time. 15 is remainder. Get rid of remainder by adding 0.0. Bring it down. Can 100 go 150? 1 time. Let's get rid of this 50 as a remainder. 100 go 500. Okay. So the decimal equivalency is 1 and 1500. Here's the fraction, and here's the percent. We could express it another way. 1 and 1500ths. We simplify by breaking it down by 5, 1 and 3/20. So all of these mean the same thing. Also 23/20 is another fraction it could be. All of these mean the exact same thing. So we have 0.8%. What would that be as a decimal? 0.8 per 100. What's another way to say this? 0.8 divided by 100, or 0.8 divided by 100. Can 100 go into 8 times? 0 times. 8, get rid of the remainder, add 0. Can 100 go to 80? 0 times. And our 0, bring it down. Can 100 go into 800? 8 times. So the decimal is that. Another way to say that is 8 tenths 100,000, which is simplified to 4 500. We simplify to 2 and 250. We simplify to 125. All of these are good. This is good. This is good. They all mean the exact same thing. And next one. How do you turn Venus as a decimal? So 0.87, that is in the hundreds, because percent means per 100 out of 100. That's 0.87 divided by 100. 0.87 divided by 100. 100 going in? No. 100 go to 8, 0 times. Bringing down the 7. Can 100 go to 87? 0 times. Bring 0. Can 100 go to 870? 8 times. 70 is the remainder. Add our 0. And 100 goes to 700. So the decimal is this. I will be teaching you a shortcut that your 7th grade teachers will be teaching it shortly. There is a shortcut by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. That's how you can get from a percent to a decimal. Because when you divide by 100, you're really making it 2 places to the left. So JASA expects her new software company to increase. We're going to skip this one. So what if you have now given a decimal? Can you turn it the other way to a percent? To do so, for example, you have 5 thousandths. How do you break it down to 100? You divide by 10. So 5 divided by 10 is 0.5%. 2 and 3/5 is equivalent to 13/5. How do you build up? Again, a percent means per 100 out of 100. How do you build up to 100? You multiply by 20, you get 260%. So let's look at this. We have 2 and 3/4. What percent is that? So I need to build this fraction. Well, first of all, it needs to be a fraction. Another way to say it is 11/4. Remember, 2 times 4 is 8. 3 more is 11/4. How do you build 11/4 to a percent or to 100? Build it up by 25. 25 times 11, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 7, is 275%. That is the percent. What if at the quality assurance company, at a gear company, found that 3 out of every 500 produced are defective? Express this fraction as here's a fraction, as a percent. Percent means per 100 out of 100. How do you break it down? I break it down by 5. So what's 3 divided by 5? 5 go 3? 0 times. 0.0, bring it down. How many 5 go in 30? 6 times. So it's 0.6% is the percent. And let's try one more. 1/500. So the pharmacist said that the medicine Estelle was taking contained no more than 1/500 gram of impurities. Impurities are bad things per gram of total weight. Express this fraction as a percent. Percent means per 100, so we have to break it down by 5. So what's 1 divided by 5? 0 times. 5 go 10 2 times. So it's 0.2%. So, is there a shorter way of doing these? So when, as I can tell, when you're turning a fraction or a decimal into a percent, as you can tell, we are building up to 100. So, yesterday, on the previous lesson, or inside your notebook, you should have gotten an FDP chart. This is something the 7th grade teachers do pass out. So what does it mean, FDP? To turn a decimal to a percent, you move the decimal 2 places to the right. For example, the decimal, this is decimal. What percent is that? If you move it 2 to the right, it's 0.5%. Half of a percent. For example, that's a good one. And then, what if you have to turn a percent to a decimal? FDP, turn a percent to a decimal. Percent to a decimal, you're moving the decimal 2 places to the left. For example, the tax rate in the Houston area is 8.25%. What is the decimal equivalency? Because to find the decimal, you'll be able to find the taxes. So I moved the decimal 2 places to the left. 1, 2. What goes in this empty placeholder is 0. So the decimal equivalency is 0.0825 or 8.25%. Another thing, what if 80% of the school like to play video games? What is the decimal equivalency of that? So percent to decimal, I move it 2 places to the, it's 0.8 or 0.80. So an FDP. So turn a decimal to a percent, you are multiplying by 100 or moving 2 places to the right. To turn a percent to a decimal, you're moving the decimal 2 places to the left or you're dividing by 100.